man somehow managed to fit the entire history of Hollywood into his brief career. He was a jobbing director of B-movie musicals and capers, one of the most important figures in the codification of American noir and the post-war Western. He turned Jimmy Stewart from a romantic comedy lead into a hard-bitten anti-hero, and finally cashed in his chips to become a maker of epics for Samuel Bronston, friend of fascist Spain. Man was a man outside of his body, in and out of history, loved and understood, but only after it was too late. Twice divorced, in gambling debt, no longer working in his home country, and having traded his ideals to make the hopeless El Cid as a favor to Generalissimo Francisco Franco, man had become the ultimate victim of capitalism. And for his last act, a lacerating self-investigation about a man trapped between countries and allegiances, who may, under all his subterfuge and deception, may just be the thing he despises most of all. Himself. Just a man.
Why all the secrecy? Who are we burying?
Nightingale.
Oh dear, I've still got one of his library books.
No, I think that will do.
Did you ever meet Nightingale, Evelyn?
Once.
He was house captain at my school. Everybody hated him.
A Dandy in Aspic wasn't meant to be his last film, of course. He died of a heart attack in the middle of the shoot. Star Lawrence Harvey, also having a tough time coming up with his next act, finished it with cinematographer Christopher Chalice as his guide. The Berlin set finale cannot be said to be an accurate representation of what man would have done, but the idea of a film about a man with a split personality itself being caught between a dead man's wishes and a lost man's desperation is too perfect and strange a coincidence for the film to do anything but gain eerie power, even in failure. At the sight of its stitches, like Frankenstein's monster, personality seeping out like oozing wounds going south.
That's him, down there.
Last of his characters to join man's rogues gallery of self-loathing professionals is a British spy named Eberlin, played by Harvey, who has just been given an assignment to kill a Russian sleeper agent named Krasnavian. There's just one problem. Eberlin is Krasnavian.
Did you see it?
He was waiting to meet me.
Even the wallets they give you are still the same imitation leather. They exhibit their damn phony poverty as if it were a virtue. Poor bastard. Now you must realize why I want to go back to Russia.
Why do you, Krasnevin?
Because I am Krasnevin, and not some Englishman called Eberlin. It was all right when I was just working for a top king. But now I'm working for the British as well, and it's all getting out of hand.
But you knew that when you left Moscow. No one had to put chains around you. And you didn't go into it blindly.
Or he was, in a past life. The British tell Eberlin that Krasnevin is his former lover, Pavel, played by Per Oscarsson, and when it comes time to kill him, he hesitates and must now go to Berlin, wondering all the while who knows what about whom.
Don't leave me! Don't leave me! Come back, I beg you! Come back! Come back!
Sexual defeat and dishonesty is everywhere, like the agents sent to tail him at every corner. Dogging him is Mia Farrow's mod photographer and child of privilege.
Der Zug aus West-Berlin kommt in 2 Minuten an. Passagiere zuerst aussteigen lassen.
Hello. They wouldn't let me through with this. Professional photographer, aren't they silly?
And Tom Courtney as his shadow and fellow field agent, who may be trying to replace him. These two thin double agents with pixie cuts pulling him this way and that.
You've done nothing since you've been in Berlin, have you?
Now listen, Gaddis, I've only been here 48 hours. And we don't even know if Krasnevin is still in Berlin.
Oh, he is, Eberlin. He is. You can be sure of that. Are you interested in motor racing, George?
What did you drag me to this place for anyway?
Hitler built the Avas, you know.
And Harvey, who must assume a third identity, pining for his Russian homeland and the freedom of one name. The freedom to be himself, to rejoin his body.
So in my book, what is required first, before we can send out a successor to Nightingale, is the elimination of that impediment. All right so far? I said, is that all right so far?
By impediment, you mean?
The assassin.
Do you know who this assassin is?
Well, we believe it to be the same man each time.
Pardon me.
You mean you have a strong lead on this assassin, sir?
Not really. Except that we know who it is.
Who exactly is it, sir?
Oh, does the name He's the chappie we want you to eliminate.
Espionage, duplicity. At his best, these were man's bread and butter.
Day after tomorrow, he's going to ask the convention to appoint him dictator.
Robespierre must never become dictator.
Ever hear of the Black Book?
The death list.
Well, the book's gone.
Who has it?
I was hoping it was you.
If only I did have it. I could whip the entire convention into a frenzy against him.
It's the secret police. They've got the cafe surrounded.
You have to go this way. Hurry.
And Aspic represents a final, unwieldy return to the scorching purgatories, midnight rides into even more darkness. Films about the creation of history from absences, from indecision, and lies and thievery, as much as honesty and honor. Man's framing, the cattiness of the screenplay, and the constant sexualization of spycraft call to mind some of man's best films, which put a nation's ideals in the bodies of a few people and civilizations a hair's breadth from collapse.
Не беспокойся, я вас не трожу.
What exactly do you want?
Not I, you. You've just killed one of our men. Which is a pity, because it was his birthday today.
Was it? Well, you shouldn't have let him out on his own. Still, I'm sure there are plenty more where he came from.
Plenty. Cigar.
You hear the echoes of their screams in the haunted corridors and alleys of Aspic as clearly as Harvey hears the accusations against him and his own guilt ringing in his head.
Die Welt ist dumm. Die Welt ist blind. I'm just leaving Ghetto Airport now.
Good. You know Zabakovich is dead.
Yes. Gatis.
We know.
None of this would have happened if you hadn't killed Pavel.
I didn't kill Pavel.
I don't mean you personally. I mean KGB.
Pavel wasn't killed by us. We wouldn't do that to him. You must have known that.
But I didn't. I saw you. The car, I saw you there. You were taking Pavel's body away and...
Come along, Evelyn, they're waiting. Oh, I'm sorry. She being like that, tears and wailing. Well, never mind. Tell her you love her madly and you'll die without her. It never fails.
Krasnevin, it wasn't us. It was the British. They're the ones who did it.
Do you realize what this means? If it was the British who killed Pavel, then they know. They've known all the time. They know I'm Krasnevin, Topkin. They must know. Topkin, are you there?
You are dead, Krasnevin.
Man had made what are still some of the best American movies, through ingenious low-budget invention. And though this film was plainly green-lit, on the strength of the success of movies about James Bond, Harry Palmer, and George Smiley, man took to the grotesque Cold War texture like a fish to water. His CinemaScope camera work sharper than it had ever been. He never lived to become a director as lauded as his talents deserved. He died in uncertainty. But now this nagging earworm is his epitaph. Half a film, half a statement, half a personality, one film for a dozen broken promises. Perhaps the ultimate farewell. An artist's last breath hidden somewhere between takes. As everywhere, the cast, possessions, and countries, their agents, crumble to dust, disappear, their souls ripped in half, vanished for good.